Okay, part two. Here are all the closing entries that we just did in step one. We're going to post all those into the ledger so we can see what our true balances really are. Okay, remember that the post reference in the ledger will be 8 because that's the page number. So we're going to take sales down here, and I would do it step by step. I wouldn't skip any steps. 30 is your date. Post reference is 8 because that's where the information came from. It's a debit of 2160. So that means the balance in sales is now 0. You want to plug a 0 in your debit and your credit to show that it has been closed out for the period. Then we're going to bring our 410 up to our journal, and we're going to put that in our post reference here. Okay. Then we're going to go to income summary. Income summary is a credit of 2160. When we go to income summary, we'll notice there's nothing in here. So it is going to create a balance and then close out. Since line 1 has no date, we do have to put APR period 30. Post reference is 8, and it's a debit of 21. Excuse me, it is a credit of 2160. So the new balance in there is 2160 credit. Okay, then we're going to put the 330. We're going to go back to our journal and plug that. Okay, the next one is a debit to income summary of 1483. So I'm going to go back to income summary. All I need is 30. My post reference is 8. I have a debit of 1483. So when I do the math, I got 2160 minus 1483. That's a balance of 677. Since this credit is higher than this debit, it stays as a credit balance. Okay, that 677 should also sound familiar because it was the net income of this worksheet. So I'm going to bring my 330 back up to my journal. Okay, and then you're going to go down and do the same thing for each of your expenses. So advertising expense is 30. Post reference is 8. It's a credit of 460. So my balance is 0, 0. Since the 0 stays, the system wants it. So whenever you try to plug it in, if it stays, that means it wants it there. If it bounces out, then it doesn't need it. Cash short and over. 30. Post reference is 8. Credit of $6. That means my balance is 0, 0. And I'm going to come up here and plug my 520. Insurance expense. Date is 30. Post reference is 8. There's a credit of 125. So that means my new balance is 0, 0. And then I'll go up to my journal and I'll post a 530. And keep going down your expenses. Until they are all posted. Okay, so all of my expenses have been posted and they've all been zeroed out. Then I come back to income summary. It is a debit of 677. So I go back to income summary. I still need my date as the 30th. It's still coming from page 8. It was a debit of 677. This is a credit of 677, so this is going to be 0, and this will be 0. And I'll go back up here, and I'll put 330 in my post reference. Okay, then we're going to go to capital. Capital will not zero out. If capital zeroes out, that means you are worth nothing. So we want to make sure that does not zero out. So at this point, we have a credit of 74.43 in there. We have another credit of 677. We're going to add those two together. And we get 8120. I'm going to put 8120 right here. And I'm going to bring my 310 back up top. I'm going to go back to capital to make sure I close out my drawing. Again, it's a new transaction, so I need my 30. Still coming from page 8. It's a debit of 1,700. So I'm now going to subtract, and I'm going to get 64.20. It's a credit balance because that credit balance was, this 81.20 is greater than 1,700, so it stays as a credit balance. I'm going to bring this up here, and then finally I'm going to close out my drawing. I'm going to do 30. So coming from page 8, the credit of 1,700. So my new balance is 0, 0. And then I will plug the 320 right here. Okay, so if you scroll down before you grade it, you just want to make sure that everything from drawing, income summary, sales, and all your expenses all have 0 balance. So drawing is 0, income summary is 0, sales is 0, advertising expense is 0, cash over and over, insurance expense, miscellaneous expense, supplies expense, and utilities expense. So we can go ahead and grade that final step. Okay, so that is how you journalize and post closing entries. I'm going to go ahead and save that for now and close out of here. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please email me or send me a message through the Remind app. See you guys.